Okay, so we have all of our products for Amazon shipped out physically. We had all the documents, we had all the UPS or FedEx or truck bill ladings set. Basically now we just need to let Amazon know how we shipped them and what our tracking numbers are. And they are trying to connect each box to each tracking number, so when their receiving team comes in and gets the product, they're hitting it with a scan gun and it's getting more and more automated on their side. That's why each box is going to have an individual ID number, and we're actually going to connect it with the tracking numbers. So we have, and it's called an advanced shipping notice, where we're telling them the tracking information. So we're going to try and submit one today, and I've got one picked out that is a pretty good example. It's actually this shipment right here. I'm looking at my page and I have this shipment ID. I could look it up by my pack slip and all this and have all this information available as well. The reason this is a good example is it's because it's got more than one package to do. So I scroll down and hit Submit ASN. This is going to look very similar to the routing request. It's going to cycle through a lot of the same information. It's only the really end that we get to assign new information to it. So it knows what order I'm shipping. It knows where I'm shipping from and how many boxes. It knows the items I selected and the box numbers I assigned to those items. And over here, my ship date, this is a little tricky because it always tries to lie and say you're shipping the following day. So we don't want to do that, and we want to ship the, so going from Idaho to Pennsylvania, it's going to take 3 to 4 days, and our shipment type is going to be small parcels. So even though Amazon knows this, we get to tell them again. Down here is basically where we get to enter our tracking information. So if I was shipping on a truckload, it would give me one nice little small tracking information, and that would go across every box. Since I'm shipping small parcel, I get to enter each tracking information individually. One nice aspect about this is if I really needed to, and say, FedEx was shut down for the day, I could switch from FedEx to United Parcel Service or even Postal Service, however we choose. And so far, there hasn't seemed to be any real kickback. I just know in some points in time we needed to switch, especially for our Charlotte address, for example. We weren't able to get FedEx in that day, but we knew we could get UPS in that day. Or I needed to drop a package off at a UPS store. I was able to do this in that regard. So I'm entering each tracking information, and I'm entering one per line per the request. I select next, and this is where we go with box 1 to 1 that we've been doing a long while, box 2 to 2. So my first tracking number is going to match up with my first box. So I knew it weighed 7 pounds. That's my tracking number for my 7-pound box. My second tracking number is a 20-pound box, and I know that matches that item. We'll click through next. It's just confirming again, and we hit submit. This successful operation, this is the ASN number, and this is basically our proof to Amazon that we processed through their transactions, shipped things out, told them the tracking numbers, and we've done it at our point in time. Basically, if Amazon receives the product in their building before we do this step, so we've had that a lot with like our Connecticut warehouse shipping to a New Jersey warehouse. It'll deliver at 6 in the morning, and if we didn't have the tracking plugged in, we would get a ding back from Amazon. So the faster we do this, the better. In the case of typing out all these numbers, there are some really cheap barcode scanner guns that can be attached to most any computer, and they kind of act like a keyboard. And what will happen is if you actually swipe your physical UPS label underneath it, it'll scan in and type all this number. It doesn't really work with FedEx as far as I've seen. They have too much coding inside their barcode, but UPS works pretty nicely. So if we use UPS, you could actually just scan, label one, label two, label three, instead of having to type in all these numbers. But this is how we enter an ASN. We'll do this for every shipment that we ship out. It only takes a couple of minutes, but it's the typing in of this tracking number and then assigning it to each box number, which takes the time. So that's about it.